Hi, and welcome to another Everyday Paleo cooking demo. Tonight I'm going to make spaghetti, but paleo style spaghetti, and I'm using ingredients that I found here locally. It's all seasonal, organic, fresh, and I even found some grass-fed ground beef from Trader Joe's today. It's organic ground beef, no antibiotics, no added hormones, and 100% grass-fed. So I'm excited to have found this here at a local Trader Joe's. So this is the meat that we're using tonight for our spaghetti sauce. And then all the ingredients for our sauce, everything including the herbs and our noodles, which is going to be zucchini, is all local and organic. So I'm excited about that. So I have 2 pounds of ground beef already in the stove here. And we're just going to turn that on and let that start to brown. And while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and actually prepare my sauce. And I also have my oven preheating to 425, and that's what we're going to be baking our green beans at. So high heat, just like that okra. I don't know if y'all remember that blog about the crispy okra, but it's the same idea except for using green beans tonight. So while the meat's cooking, let's get started on our sauce. So in the food processor, I'm going to put 3 heirloom tomatoes that I just kind of diced or chunked up in big chunks. I've got half a red onion. I have some fresh organic Italian parsley, and I have some rosemary. So the parsley, this is about half a cup, and the rosemary, that's about 3 tablespoons of fresh rosemary, and I just have that growing in my backyard. And then I've got, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cloves of garlic, but I have some pretty small cloves, so if you've got big ones, you can probably use 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. So what I have in the food processor right now is the half a red onion, the parsley, and the rosemary. So we're gonna pulse that first before we add the tomatoes. So I'm just gonna do a few pulses on low here. That looks pretty good, and then we're going to go ahead and add the tomato right in with the rest, and then we're going to blend that in as well. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to show you what the consistency of that looks like. And you can see I still have some pretty big chunks of tomato in there. Once we put this into our meat, we're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes. And that tomato is going to cook and reduce down even more. So right now it looks kind of just like a nice fresh salsa. So I'm going to just let this sit here and wait for us, and we're going to check on our ground beef. So our ground beef has about probably 5 to 7 more minutes before it's done. And then we're going to actually add the seasonings, the spices for our sauce directly to the ground beef. And then we're going to add in the wet ingredients. So we'll be back in just a minute when that ground beef is browned, and we'll finish this up. Okay, we're back, and our meat is browned, and we're going to go ahead and add our spices to the meat. And the first thing we're going to put in is a little bit of sea salt. I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons in of sea salt. And then we're going to add just some garlic powder. Even though we have garlic in the sauce, we're going to season the meat with a little garlic powder as well. And I'm going to say that's probably about half a tablespoon. And then we're also going to put in some dried basil. And if you have fresh basil, that's fine too, but I have the parsley and the fresh rosemary in the sauce. So for the purpose of seasoning the meat, I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of dried basil. And then I'm going to put in, for some kick, just a little bit of cayenne. So I would say that's probably less even than 1/8 of a teaspoon. So just a pinch or 2 of cayenne, or more if you guys like it spicy. So I'm going to mix those seasonings into the meat. Then I'm going to grab my sauce that we made a few minutes ago in the, oh my gosh, my mind just went completely blank, in the food processor. So we've stirred in our sauce, and then the last 2 ingredients we're going to add before we let it simmer is 1 bay leaf. Here. And then we're also going to add just a splash of red wine. And I don't recommend cooking with wine unless you think it's good enough to drink. So let me just check real fast. I think we'll be alright. So I'm going to add just a splash of red wine. Not too much because you don't want it to overpower the sauce. And we're going to stir that in. And we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes. And I'm gonna get the green beans ready to throw into the oven while this is cooking. Ready, I have right here about probably close to a half a pound or more of green beans, and I've trimmed them and then just broken them in half. And you wanna make sure that they're dry. So of course I washed them, but you wanna make sure you dry them with either a towel or some paper towels, because that way they're gonna crisp up really nicely in the oven. And to season them, it's really easy. We're just gonna douse them with olive oil. No measuring required here, but if you're really particular, I would say it's probably about 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then we're gonna just season it with some sea salt, if you wish. You want to do it that way? Okay. Hold your hand over, bud. And then just shake that all over.
Of it?
All of it, yeah. And then we're also going to add some pepper. You want to do this too?
Okay.
All right, so Jane's going to grind in some pepper, and I'm going to grab our cookie sheet. And what we're going to do is we're just going to layer these green beans out evenly on our cookie sheet and then pop them in the oven. And we're going to cook the green beans and the sauce for about 20 minutes. And when that water's boiling, a few minutes before everything's done, we'll come right back and show you how to finish off the zucchini for the pasta. Okay, so we're gonna show you how to get your zucchini ready to cook for our pasta. And you can see the zucchini's cut very thinly. And what I've used here is a mandolin slicer. This is definitely not a kid-friendly tool in the kitchen. This blade's super sharp, so although my kids are great helpers, this is one area that I keep them away from. So with the mandolin, please make sure you use the guard if you do have one, because it's there for a reason. I don't want anyone to learn the hard way. So you just use the guard, put your zucchini down. I have it set to 1 inch, or not 1 inch, it says 1. It's really not an inch thick though. But anyway, we're gonna just slice this real thin. And it's fresh pasta, paleo style. So we'll show you what that looks like. Nice and easy, and I've got plenty already. This is about 5 zucchini that I sliced up earlier. And once our water's boiling, we're gonna toss this straight into the boiling water, and we're only gonna cook it for about 2 or 3 minutes. We don't want it to turn to mush, we still want it to be really al dente. All right, so our sauce has about 4 minutes until it's done, along with the green beans. So we're gonna go ahead and throw our zucchini into the pot of boiling water, and Kobe's here to help me with that. So he's gonna just put that directly into our boiling water, and there's about probably 12 cups of water in there. So he's got that almost all in. Kobe's also my master seasoner, and he's already sampled the sauce, and he said it's good. So.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. So I feel confident that you guys will enjoy the recipe, because if Kobe likes it, everybody will like it. All right, so we've got that in, and we're gonna watch our timer. We have exactly 3 minutes left. I don't know how we timed this so well, but we did. So once the timer goes off, we're gonna dump this out, we're gonna strain this out, and then we're gonna top it with our sauce and pull our green beans out, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, so here's what our green beans look like after 20 minutes in the oven, and you can see they have a nice little brown crisp on them. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and plate this up. Our zucchini cooked for exactly 3 minutes. It's not mush, it's just perfect. So we're gonna put a little more on the plate here. And we're gonna top it with our sauce, which smells so good right now. I shouldn't do these cooking demos when I'm starving, but that's how it works out. And then we're gonna add some green beans. And it looks like Jaden showed up first. So that wraps up another cooking demo. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time with another cooking demo. Cheers. Hot.
But good.
But good.